What's up everyone, how are you all? Today we are back with another blazing Naruto story. What if Naruto caught his wife during an extra affair? If you enjoy then please like, share and do comments. And also check the description box to original creator of this beautiful creation. Hinata was 3 days missing, equivalent to 72 darn hours, 4,320 missing minutes, and 259,200 crazy seconds. Honestly, it was the longest 3 days I ever had. She just left without saying anything or even a letter saying what she wanted to say to me. She also left her cellular phone, and she really did it on purpose. I phoned her younger sister Hanabi asking if Hinata was there at home. She said that her sister wasn't there. But I'm having doubts that her father was hiding her from me. I'm not really convinced, so I leave Konoha at dawn for an 8-hour drive to their house at the province of Koto. When I came to their house, too much for my disappointment, Hinata wasn't really there. My father-in-law was anxious as I am on where Hinata went. Yeah, we had a fight, a terrible one, and I left her alone. But too much for me. I didn't expect that she will disappear like this, not telling anyone, even her family, where she might be staying. My in-laws let me stay for lunch, and after that I drove an 8-hour travel way back. My butt is killing me at this long driving. I roughly combed my blonde hair through my fingers. I'm just really desperate now. Where the hell are you, Hinata? I muttered under my breath when suddenly my phone rang, and it's a call from our phone number at our house. Hello, Mr. Uzumaki, it's me, Ayane. The other line said as I picked up the phone. She was our helper who comes in our home once a week to clean the house. Hello Ayane, what's the matter? I asked weakly. Mr. Uzumaki, your aunt arrived at Konoha a few days ago. She informs me. What? To my surprise, I accidentally step on my car's brake that makes me almost kiss the windshield of my car. A car who is behind me honks loudly, passing through my car, and its driver was casting curse words at me, but I just ignored it. Mr. Uzumaki, are you still there? Ayane asked worriedly. Yes, I'm still here. I answered while I maneuvered my car to park it at the side of the road. Where is she staying? I asked her. She said she stays at the Widow's Hotel. She answered. Okay, thanks so much for the information, Ayane. I said gratefully. No worries Mr. Uzumaki, I hope you'll find Miss Hinata. The other line said. Yes, I will find her. Thanks again. Bye, I said as I hang up the phone and start the ignition of my car. Good thing Ayane told me about the busy aunt of mine who is currently staying at a hotel. What is amusing is she didn't even tell me that she will be at Konoha. I'm having a feeling that she knows something about my wife's disappearance. I parked my car in front of the hotel and gave the keys to the valet. I run to the reception of the hotel, asking for my aunt's room number. After I got the room number of my aunt, I stormed going to the elevator and pushed the button of the 23th floor. My foot taps the floor of the elevator while waiting impatiently for the door to open. When it opened, I immediately walked 2 steps at a time towards the room number of my aunt. I knocked hardly at the door. Honestly, I really want to kick it, but I'm afraid my aunt will get pissed. Who's there? I heard my aunt asked. It's me, Naruto, Aunt Tsunade. I answered, and instantly I heard the unlocking of the door. Naruto, it's Ben. I didn't let her finish her words as I stormed inside her room. Hey, where are the manners? My aunt asked, masking irritation and sarcasm with her words while closing the door. My eyes roam inside the room, hoping for any signs of my wife. I approached to a near table as I leaned my back on it for support. Where is Hinata? I asked impatiently while glaring at her. She just shrugged her shoulders. She is your wife, why are you asking me? She answered. My eyes followed her movements as she approached the table and took the wine glass while she playfully swirled the red liquid on it. You must be the one who should know her whereabouts. She added, a little annoyed, and sip her wine. Don't play dumb with me. I answered with my words coming from my teeth, trying to keep my cool. I turned around so I was facing her across the table. I'm not playing dumb with you, and even if I know, I won't tell you. She answered, that make my anger burst in. She is my wife, my responsibility. I slammed the table with both my hands as I raised my voice, echoing to the room. My aunt didn't flinch even a little. If she is your wife, then treat her right. She answered with same tone of voice I inflicted to her. You have no right to interfere with our marriage, even it was your idea in the first place, Granny Tsunade. I shouted. I was really mad now. What did you call me, brat? She asked in angry voice as her expression darkens. Not waiting for my answer, I didn't see her fist coming right to my face. I landed kneeling onto the floor because of her punch. What do I expect on a woman who is a black belter in Aikido? I felt my right jaw was dislocated and my lips got bruised as I could taste the rusty taste of blood. How many times I would have to tell you, don't call me on that name? She angrily shouted at me. I was silent for a moment as I let myself still kneeling on the ground. Please Aunt Tsunade, I pleaded looking at her. Tell me where is Hinata? My voice cracked while I still kneel on the floor. Her eyes widen as her expression on her face softened. Really hit it big time, Mr. Misogynist? Her tone was teasing now. I really hated women when they manipulate me. I dropped my gaze to the ground. If this just the way for me to know where Hinata was, I would do it, forgetting my rotten ego. The Moon Bay. I got up hearing the two words from my aunt as I walked toward the direction of the door. I mid-stop on my tracks before opening the door and looked back at my aunt. Thanks. I opened the door leaving my aunt and immediately leave the hotel's premises. Lucky for me, the Moon Bay was just a 3-hour drive from Konoha. Moon Bay was a resort where Hinata and I were sent by my aunt to end us being together. I didn't expect that she will go to this place. Off all places, why come back here? Maybe she loves the scenery here, or she really expected that I will not think that she will go here. I checked the time on my wristwatch and its hands telling me that it's already 10 in the evening. I just need to endure a 1-hour drive. An hour and I will see Hinata again. My fear of not seeing her again drives me mad this past 3 days. Added to my torment is what if she runs away with another man? When I can't find her on the first day I arrive in our home, I phone her hairy friend Kiba asking if he know where she might be. He said that he doesn't know but was worried on where she might be. I was relieved knowing that she was not with him. I have a last person in mind, but didn't give him a phone call. Surely my worries will be really into the high of me if I gave a ring to a person named Toneri. The rain started to fall when I reached the resort as I felt it was a bad omen for me. I parked my car in front of the inn. I got outside my car, covering my head with hands. Rain was really pouring hard as I headed to the inn going to the reception area. I shake off my hair to remove the excess water from my hair. As I opened the door, a woman in her early 30s warmly greeted me. I smiled at her as I asked about my wife's room number. She asked me if I will book with my wife, and I said yes. She gave me my wife's room number and I gave my thanks. I headed to the elevator and waited impatiently again for the door to open. When the door opened, I immediately got out and headed to the room number the receptionist gave me. When I was in front of my wife's room, I released few exhale breaths before knocking to the door. I pray she was not with someone. I chanted to myself as I knocked onto the door. Who's there? I heard a sweet voice asking. Darn it, she was really here. I didn't answer, instead I knocked again. The door slowly opened and her lavender eyes meet mine. She was wearing a housecoat, while her hair was wet and hanging loosely on her shoulders. Her eyes widened in surprise upon seeing me. Did you think that I will not find you? I said to myself, not voicing what's on my mind. Naruto. She whispered my name, which is not somewhat audible to my ears. A deafening silence followed. Can I go inside? I asked to break the silence. It looks like she still did not recover from our meeting. Sure. Her voice cracked and she let me inside the room as she gently closed the door behind her. I look inside the room. Its walls are painted white wash paint, a large bed and a blue-colored wardrobe with a mirror with it. I look onto the window as splashes of rain hits the glass. I approached the window and kept my hands both in my pockets for her not to see that I'm shaking. I really wanted to crush in a hug, for every cell in my body aches physical contact with her. I looked through the window watching the splattering of the rain outside. Naruto. She called my name quietly and my attention was turned into her. Did you book in? She asked as she combs her hair. Yes. I simply answered and turned my gaze again to the window. Silence again filled the room. Hinata. I called her name as I look at her. She meets my gaze while she was seated at the bed clutching the hem of her housecoat. Why did you run away? I asked and I didn't hear her answer. Did you run away with someone? I stammered while having difficulty to raise the question. Her eyes widened in surprise as her expression became darker. She drops her gaze while biting her lip. Is that what you thought, that I run away with another man? I think the words came between her teeth and I just nod as answer. She wildly shook her head, maybe because of disbelief. Is that how you think low of me? Of my morals? I can't sense if she was angry or more frustrated with my question as tears form in her eyes. Okay, She paused and let a dry laugh from her lips while she restrained the tears from falling. Yes, I did run away with a man. She answered, and I felt my world crumbles in an instant. My hands keep on shaking on my pockets that I could not stop them. I felt my heart stop beating the moment she said the words. Which one? My voice strained as I took the courage to ask. My strength wants to leave my body on what she will say. My chest hurts with the beating it was making. At least I need to know who is the man my woman loves. I'll tell you which one. Tears now fell on her face. All the teamy, I was Hera Aman was with me. She narrated between her cries. Every time I walked to the seashore or just looking at the blue sky, he was with me. She paused after a moment as she takes a breath and looked directly at me. That man was you, she said. That made my lips odd. I talked to you, laughed with you, and I even slept with you. The more I tried to forget about you, the more your image clung. She just made my knees weaken at the relief of her words. She looks unto the other direction while wiping the tears from her cheeks. If you're here to talk about divorce, just ask me, you'll never know, I might agree. Is she really thinking the reason why am I here is to file a divorce? I walk into her direction as I stand in front of her. Her gaze was dropped low, not meeting mine. Hinata, I called her name quietly. She looks at me with her puffy red eyes, and her nose was also quite a bit red. You really pulled the trigger on me, you idiot. I hug her tightly, her face touching my midsection as my chin touches her head, making sure she was really real. I really missed this contact with her. You're so rude for leaving just like that. I was really shaking now, maybe because of relief and fatigue. I felt hot tears streaming down my cheeks as I kissed the top of her head. Naruto. I heard her call my name, as she looks up, but I didn't meet her gaze. I'm so in love with you that I thought I would die if I will not see you again. I confessed, feeling my cheeks burn while my heart beats faster. She got up from her seat as she stands in front of me. What did you say? I heard her asked. I released a sigh when I look into her lavender eyes. I said, I love you, Hinata. Her eyes pop wide opened on my words. Oh, Naruto. She called my name while tears keep flowing through her eyes. I pulled her into a crushed hug, as her face pressed in my chest. I caught her chin with my right hand and crushed my lips into hers. We were both panting as we ended our kiss, and I sit onto the bed while letting her seat on my lap. She was seated sideways while my arms are wraps on her waist. I could smell the scent of magnolia flowers from her body. Naruto. She called as she bends her neck to meet my gaze. How did you know that I am here? Granny Tsunade told me. She gently caressed my cheeks and she mid-stop when she noticed my bruised lips. What happened to your lips? She asked me worriedly. I gave her a troubled smile. It's the payment for the info where I can find you. I answered and saw guilt on her eyes. Besides, they are already healed because I already kissed you. Her cheeks tinted red, maybe because of embarrassment. I held hand and kissed them soundly. So you know what's coming? I nearly went crazy upon my arrival at our home and you are not there. Your presence was there in the house, but I wanted you in my arms. I confessed at her while looking wide-eyed at me. Did you know I even phoned your hairy friend Kiba to ask him where you are? I traveled to Koto persuading myself that you are there. You traveled that far? I heard her gasp as soon she realizes something, and I mop her brows. Be sure to call them tomorrow morning to inform your father and Hanabi that you are fine. Your father was really anxious as I was, you little minx. I continued as I slightly pinch her nose and nudge my face to her neck to inhale her scent. Naruto. She called my name sweetly and I look at her. Why did you go that night? Where did you go? Did you go to Sakura? She asked me. That caught me surprised as I moved away from her a little. What are you trying to say? That I am having an affair with Sakura? You really need to be punished. I answered a little disappointed. I'm jealous too, she pointed out in a little voice as her cheeks were burning. Okay, I forgive you. Sakura was only a good friend of mine and she will base on abroad now. Will that make your mind at peace? I asked and she only nods as an answer. She shrieked when I lay suddenly on the bed while she collapsed on top of me. I wrapped my arms around her, crushing her to a hug. She rolled onto my side and I let my arm to be her pillow as my other hand softly caressing her cheeks as I started to kiss her forehead, eyelids and nose. When did you realize that you are in love with me, Naruto? She suddenly asked, interrupting me. Since the first day we met. When a beautiful woman came out from my aunt's favorite villa, I fell in love with her beautiful lavender eyes. I answered and she looked at me quite stunned. Why are you surprised? Isn't that possible? No, it's just I tried everything for you to hate me, for you not to marry me. It's not that I don't like you, it's just that I don't want you to feel you are obliged. She answered as she kissed my lips and I gave her a bitter smile. Well, that's not the reason, my sweet wife. If I just thought you were marrying me for that money, I can easily rip off that ring on your finger. But I reasoned to myself that in due time, you will want to be my real wife and forget about the business arrangement that we made. That was also the reason why I left you alone, for you to realize. I explained as I hugged her close to my body. Naruto. She called my name again. I love you, she whispered lovingly, and we kissed, sharing the night together. I wake up with the sound of rain hitting on our rooftop together with the annoying buzz coming from my alarm clock. I slowly opened my eyes, allowing them to adjust as they roamed inside my room. I sat up and then let myself fall again to my bed, feeling really lazy. The weather is cold, so my bed is really inviting me to stay under my covers and forget about school. I grunt as I realize that I can't skip school, for some exams are coming. I sat up again as I reach out to my bedside table to turn off the alarm clock that is buzzing to my ears directly to my brain. The rainwater keeps on hitting through my glass windows as I look outside without moving on my bed. Looks like the rain will fall for the whole day. I released a sigh as I imagine that I will have to deal in not wetting my uniform. Is that possible? It's raining, it's just normal if you'll get wet even if you have an umbrella. Hinata, breakfast is ready. Come and get it. My chains of thoughts were suddenly broken when I hear my aunt shouted coming from the downstairs. Coming, I replied as I stand up heading to the bathroom. When I finished my morning routine, I look on my wardrobes and get a fresh set of uniform. Well, it's a white sailor blouse with a dark blue necktie with letters of Konoha High embroidered on it, plus a dark blue skirt. I change into my uniform, put some powder on my face and a touch of gloss to my lips. I put a purple band on my head, letting my hair loose before heading downstairs. When I reach our dining room, I saw my beautiful aunt already seated at the table munching churros while sipping her coffee. I was living with her while my parents and my sibling were on abroad. She has no family or relative living in this country, so I decided to live with her for her not to be left alone. At first, my family doesn't approve with me living with her because I will be far away from them. But I really want to be independent and to be able to stand on my own feet. I've told them that I will be just fine, and besides, Aunt Rina was just around, so I will be surely safe and sound. Good morning, Hina. She greeted me with enthusiasm while her mouth is full. Morning, I greeted back with not so much energy like her as I took my seat across my aunt. Well, I have 2 loaves of bread, bacon, with a sunny side egg on my plate and a glass of fresh milk. What's the matter? My aunt asked curiously. Hating the rain for pouring early in the morning? I nod as an answer at her while releasing a sigh to my lips. You know, dear, as you hated your uniform getting wet because of the rain, there are some things that you can see when it rains. My aunt said, trying to lighten my mood. Like what? I asked with knit brows as I took a slice of bacon to my mouth. Nice question. She looks at the blank space while her right index finger was on her chin. The splatter of the water to the trees and to the road. Something like that, she answered with a hint of poetry on her voice. What was that? I asked, not understanding what my aunt meant. How can I explain it for you to understand? She seems having a hard time explaining to me. After a few minutes, she finally gave up. Arg. Just forget what I've said, she said in an annoyed tone while puffing her cheeks with air. I released a small laugh at my aunt's reaction and she gave me a sharp look. You are making fun of me. I saw disgust on her face while I try hard not to laugh. It was just so funny that she was having a hard time explaining things to me. No, auntie, it's just you are so cute when you react like that, I answered while smiling. She suddenly stands up as she came close to me and locked her right arm to my head, pulling me into a hug. Saying cute to a 30-year-old woman is quite inappropriate, Hina. She was not still contented. She pinched my nose very hard. Can't breathe. She finally released me while laughing. I rolled my eyes at her, but she only flips her hair, brushing it off to my face. I released a growl and she only laughed in return. If you will not hurry, you'll be late for school, she said as she points into the clock with a devilish smile. I gasped as it says 7:25 already. Oh, shoot. I have only 5 minutes to spare and going to school. I immediately stand up, got my bags and umbrella, heading to the door. Have a nice day, Hina. MWUAH. She sent a flying kiss to me while I scramble finding my shoes in the rack. Once I found them I put them in a shoe bag. I will just wear ankle-high rain boots for the meantime. Bye auntie. I say goodbye as I walk outside the door. Before I got out to our house, the rain suddenly stops from falling. But my happiness was ruined immediately when suddenly the rain came pouring again as I hit the road. I opened my umbrella and started walking to a fast pace. I looked up at the gloomy sky reflecting my mood when suddenly someone stands beside me. I jolted in surprise, tripping on a humped stone pavement, quite losing my balance, but an arm catches me before I stumble. I was gripping hard on my umbrella, wanting to hit the person who startled me. On my side I saw a figure of a boy wearing a white polo shirt with a dark blue necktie and dark blue pants. It wears the same uniform of boys in my school. I slowly looked upward to see who it was, to give him a piece of my mind. But as soon I opened my mouth, I just held my breath frozen when I saw a beautiful creature standing beside me. A blue-eyed boy looking at me with whiskers on his cheeks like those you can see on cats or dogs. He has nice eyes, unlike mine's which are creepy. The whiskers look good at him, adding some charisma on his handsome face. He has a spiky blonde hair with sun-kissed skin. As I assess his face, a smile crept on his face. Hi, sorry if I startled you. He apologized as he lightly scratched his cheek. Is he talking to me? Well, I was surprised he wasn't afraid to look at me with my creepy lavender eyes. I look at the other direction, unable to meet his gaze. How long I've been looking at him. He's okay. You're HAANDD on my hips. I stuttered as my cheeks burned because of embarrassment that he was still holding me. Oh sorry. He apologizes in tousled manner. His hand let go of my hips as I look at him. I noticed he was getting wet because of the rain. I immediately shared my umbrella with him as he gives me warm smile. Gee, thanks, he said gratefully. My name is Naruto and you are. He introduced himself as he lends his hand to me for a handshake. I stared at his hand extended in front of me. Hinata. I answered immediately as I received his warm hand while letting a small smile on my lips. Hinata. It was a beautiful name, he said, matching it with melting smile as he let go of my hand. Did he just say my name was beautiful? I just look at the ground, not meeting his gaze again. I was just embarrassed with his compliment. Can I share with your umbrella? I heard him asked. Sure. I answered, still not meeting his gaze. Then suddenly he took the umbrella from my hand. Let me hold the umbrella for the two of us. I gave him a puzzled look this time in exchange for his beautiful smile. It is better this way since I'm taller than you, he said, looking me like I'm being drowned into his ocean blue eyes. Okay, I stammered. What is happening to me? I scolded myself for these stuttering and embarrassment feelings. As we started to walk, silence filled the atmosphere and just the raindrops on my umbrella can be heard. We go at the same school, he said, breaking the ice on us. What year are you? I'm on my junior year in school, I answered. We are on the same year. I'm a junior high school student also and I'm a transferee, he said, giving me a big smile. Ah, where school did you come from before transferring here at Konoha High? I asked to keep the conversation flowing. Los Angeles Cathedral in United States, he quietly answered with a tone of loneliness that didn't miss on my ears, so I just keep my mouth shut. I've only met him, so I will not allow myself to dig in, although I'm really interested to know more. Why are you walking in a fast pace recently? I did have hard time catching you. He changes the subject of our conversation. Now I remember, we're late for our first period of class. Oh shoot. Let's hurry, we are already late on our first periods. I panicked as I started to walk in fast pace again. Wait, I heard him as he tried to catch my pace on walking. Suddenly a warm hand pulls my arm gently, tugging me into a warm chest. My face landed on his chest and smell of citrus scent filled my nostrils. As I look up at him, his face was a few inches from mine. His breath that blew on my face smells oranges, automatically burned my cheeks. You are getting wet, he informed me, making me realize that the back of my sailor uniform was slightly getting wet from the rain. Ooh, yeah. I distanced myself away, although I hate leaving his warmth. He scratched the back of his head, giving me coy smile. Why in such a hurry? It's only 7 o'clock, he said, looking at his digital watch while I gave him a shocked look. 7? But when I left our house, it's already 7:25 and… I tap my forehead when I remember the sly smile on my aunt's lips. Why? He asked me curiously. I breathed in, puffing my cheeks with air and expelling it out furiously. I guess my aunt put a prank on me by adjusting the clock on our house. I explain in disgust tone. TCH, why did I look on cell phone to check the time? I muttered. He laughed as I rolled my eyes at him. That's not funny at all. I reprove. Sorry, I just thought you were not the type of person who gets disgusted and your reactions are so cute. I flustered when I heard him said I'm cute, like it was natural for him to say those things. You are good at flattering people. I stutter. Hey, I'm just saying the truth. I also like your eyes. They look unique and, he hangs his words, and beautiful, he continued as his cheeks tinted red. I was not used being complimented. I was more insulted and bullied by people because of the eyes I have. They say I don't belong here, like an extraterrestrial from other galaxy. People are really good in judging others' physical features. If something appeared in their eyes which are beyond their knowledge, they just say it was creepy. But this boy differs from them. He was really nice and warm. You know what, Naruto, you are the first person who told me that. I said while smiling sweetly at him, which made his cheeks tinted redder. Only me? I laughed when he stuttered while looking at the other direction. You were a benevolent person, I guess. I added. Look who's good at flattering now. We laughed as he copied my words. My home from our school was just a 10-minute walk, but I felt it took me 1 hour to reach our school. We continued to walk in silence, reaching our school gates, heading to the school-covered gymnasium. So this is goodbye, I guess. I said, breaking the silence first as he gave my umbrella. I shook it up to remove the excess water on it. I guess we will see each other around, he said. We stood next to each other smiling, not knowing how to say goodbye. Bye, Naruto, I said as I waved my hand goodbye first. Bye, Hinata. He waved in return and turned my back at him and headed to the direction of my classroom. Hinata, he suddenly called my name that made me stop from my tracks. Yes, I asked as I looked back at him. He was scratching his head bashfully. Can we walk together and going home later? The unexpected question caught me off guard. I was silent for a moment, trying to keep my equanimity. Yeah, sure, I quickly answered as I started walking again, heading to our classroom. See y'all later, I heard him said, making a huge smile crept to my face. At least I know now what my aunt means. And now I wish that the rain won't stop from falling, as long I have to see the sun who is now keeping me warm. After our girls' night out, Tenten brought me to our house quite late. I was really drunk after drinking shots of tequila at the bar. My best friend surely regrets the decision to make me drink alcohol. Tenten, I called her name sweetly as I look at my best friend who is helping me to get out of her car. My right arm wraps on her shoulders while supporting my whole body with the strength of her arms. There are times I feel both of us will stumble on the pavement. My eyes are getting heavy and I felt my face burning. My God, Hina, you're too heavy. You better watch your diet. My best friend scolds me as we struggle in walking, heading in front of our house. Best, HIK. Naruto doesn't bother, HIK. I answered between my hiccups. Yeah, I'm afraid what he will tell me if he saw you like this. My best friend said, heaving a sigh. What are you talking about? Heek, I'm fine. Heek, see? I pushed her and tried to stand alone, but my knees wobble, making me lose my balance. I will fall to a pavement. Good thing an arm catch my fall. Wow, Tenten was really fast. Hey, Arg, Naruto will kill me if I will bring you home with scratch on your face. And add Neji to the list. My best friend was really worried about my husband's reaction. You are really a good catcher, Tenten. Ha ha ha. Heek, I was laughing really hard. Your voice, your neighbors might hear you. She cautioned me to lower my voice. Okay, Heek, ha ha ha. I laughed and zipped my mouth. Oh brother. She heaved a loud sigh as we reached our house doorstep. She knocked onto the door with her free hand as her other hand held me close to her body. I'm just really helpless right now. Naruto, it's me, Tenten. Could you please open the door? She called to my husband. Honey, I'm here, come and get me. I shouted while giggling. She instinctively covered my mouth, but I just merely pushed her hand. A few seconds, the door opened instantly as my husband's questioning face appeared. Hina. He wasn't able to finish his words because I suddenly leapt at him, kissing his lips soundly. He was taken aback at my actions, but didn't say anything. I rested my chin to his shoulder while he holds me gently to his arms. I love you, I whispered at him lovingly. I love you more, he whispered while his hand softly caresses my back. Ehem, my best friend cleared her throat to interrupt us. Tenten, what happened? My husband asked curiously. Looks like my best friend was having a trouble in explaining what happened to me. I force her to drink tequila shots. I just want her to enjoy the party. My best friend narrated fast. I'm so sorry, Naruto. She apologizes. I see. Anyway, thank you for bringing her home safe. I wouldn't want to think that you have a hard time in keeping her behave. I heard my husband said as I cling more close to his body, giving my weight to him. He quite stumbles a little but didn't lose his balance. You wouldn't want to know. She really sobers, look at her. I heard my best friend said. Yeah, she's really drunk. My husband agreed to my best friend's words. I'm not drunk, I'm just a little tipsy, honey. I said, pouting my lips. Honey, I'm sleepy. I want to go to bed. I said while I feel my eyes are getting heavy. I think I must go now, Naruto. I heard my best friend bidding her goodbye. Are you sure you're okay? I don't mind if you'll stay. In his tone, he's worried about Tenten. No, that can't be. Neji will kill me, I need to go home. My best friend answered. Okay, bye Tenten, take care. I heard my husband said. Bye Naruto. Bye Hina. I heard my best friend said. Bye best. I whispered with my eyes closed. I'm savoring the scent of my husband, feeling the warmth from his body. I suddenly felt that my feet left the ground and I was floating in the air, hearing the door closed. It was a nice feeling as a smile crept into my face. I felt I was lay down touching the soft covers of our bed. The softness of the cloth comforted me like a second skin until consciousness left me. The next day, I awakened with the sun rays that escaped from the curtains. I slowly opened my eyes and shut them, for the light really hurts. My hand traced the space beside me, hoping my husband was with me. Unfortunately, he wasn't beside me. Oh, then I remember, I need to prepare breakfast for him. I quickly opened my eyes and sat up, sending sharp pain to my head, making me wind. I felt I'm hit by a boulder in the head. As I survey my surroundings, I was in our room. I look at myself, few buttons of my blouse are open. Wait, I'm wearing the same clothes since last night. I remembered Tenten bringing me home last night and my husband was dumbfounded to see me drunk. Then I kissed him in front of Tenten. Oh my god, what happened to me? How can I be bold like that? I felt my cheeks burn when I remember what happened. After that, I tried to remember what happened, but my head is really getting hurt. I heard something in the kitchen together with the smell of the bacon making my stomach growl. I stand up and my feet drag me downstairs to the dining room. I saw my husband's back clearing the utensils he used. I slowly walked tiptoed to be unnoticed, but I failed because he already sees me. Good morning, honey. I greeted him enthusiastically. Morning. He greeted me but in a dull manner as he turns his back to me, putting the dishes to the sink. I feel a bad omen in the atmosphere, but I just ignored it. Honey, are you okay? I asked as I took my seat at the table. Yeah, I'm just fine. He answered flatly while cleaning the dishes. I quite feel he was upset on something. I'm sorry, I woke up late. I apologize while staring at the food he prepared for both of us. I'm the one who must prepare your food before you go to work. I said, quite guilty. It's okay, don't mention it. He put a little light on his tone. I look at him as he stared back at me. But something caught my eyes. Why on earth he has scratches on his face? I came near him and examined the wounds on his face. Who did this to you? I asked, pertaining to the scratches as I cupped his face with both of my hands so he was staring at me. Irritation painted on his face as I asked him. A wild cat jumps over my face and then scratch me. He answered, imitating a cat scratching someone. There's a hint of sarcasm on his voice, but I ignored it because I'm really worried. If that is a stray cat, you must have anti-tetanus or an anti-rabies vaccine. I said worriedly, and he was silent for a moment. No, it's not a stray cat. It was a well-behaved cat that suddenly turned wild. He said while removing my hands to his cheeks. I'm just fine. Got to go now, I will be late in the office. He said in monotone voice, and he turns his back heading to the door. I was dumbfounded at his actions that I don't know how to react. Something is really wrong in here. Okay, take care. He already left before I could finish my words. My chest begins to hurt because he didn't even kiss me before going to work. He didn't even smile at me. I really feel gloomy on this morning. I felt that I lose my appetite, that I could not appreciate the food in front of me although my stomach keep on growling. I tried to remember what really happened after I have gone to bed. I tried to squeeze my brain hoping for the memories to flood back, but I got nothing. I heaved a heavy sigh that filled the dining room. I thought maybe something is related on what happened last night that bothers him. I will ask him when he comes home from work. I didn't know how long I'm staring at the blank space, when suddenly the phone rang in the living room. I wonder who might be calling this early. I stand up and headed on the telephone to stop its crazy ring buzzing on the living room. Hello, Uzumaki residence. I answered, picking up the phone. Hey Hina, good morning. It was my best friend, loud voice on the other line. She might know something on what acts I did last night. But I wonder why she called. Hey Tenten, morning. I greeted her back. Why? Is there something wrong? Oh, I just want to ask you out for shopping. Are you free? She asked. Actually, I'm not in the mood for shopping. I declined her offer and I heard her sigh on the other line. But I want to talk to you about what happened last night. I open up. Oh, that. Her voice sounded amused. Seriously, she was making me nervous. What's that? I curiously asked. Let's see each other later and talk about it. I'll pick you up at 11 a.m., okay? I heard her released a giggle that made me a little upset. She was holding me the truth to follow her wishes. Little devil. I muttered on my breath. What did you say? She pretended not to hear my words. I say, okay. I answered in defeat. Okay, see you later Hina. Bye. She hangs up the phone before I could say goodbye. What did I just say? I asked myself as I look at the clock and it's telling me that it's already 9:30 in the morning. I scowled on how much time was wasted on my spacing. I need to prepare now before my best friend arrives. After I took a bath, I went on my wardrobes to check on something to wear. I pull a blue denim pants and a black blouse to match up my mood. I just pull my hair into a high ponytail, put some powder on my face and a pink lipstick. I texted my husband informing him that I will be out and he just replied, okay. I really feel like misery is striking on me. Before I could go into verge of tears, I heard Tenten's car honk, so I immediately went downstairs and slipped my red Vans to my feet. I opened the door and saw my best friend leaning in her car while giving me a bright smile. I got out to our house as I gently closed the door. Hi Hina. She greeted me happily as she approached me and gives me a hug. Beast, I can't breathe. I said, tapping her shoulders to release me. Oh yeah, sorry. She apologizes as she released me from her hug. Let's go. She hops into her car as I followed her. This surely will be a long day. She drove swiftly and no time wasted. We reach our destination. We decided to stay on a coffee shop although it's merely lunchtime. We took our seats and ordered our mugs of coffee together with oatmeal cookies and a slice of cakes. So what do you want to know about last night? She starts hitting the conversation. I sip my coffee slowly to calm down the uneasiness I felt because of what she will tell me. What happened when you took me home? I asked, and so she told me what happened last night. There are times she'll laugh at the things I said and done. For me it was a torment because of the embarrassing actions I've done. Besides on that, did I do anything unusual more than that? I desperately asked. She looked into the blank space while thinking. Nothing. That's all what happened, she answered, which added to my uneasiness. She notices it and looks worriedly at me. Why? I look at her with slight despair in my eyes. It's just, well, Naruto. I wasn't able to finish my words. What about Naruto? She asked as her brows knit. He was acting cold to me this morning and I thought something happened last night. I explain. Did the two of you have a fight? She asked me. No, as far I remember. I answered. Oh, so you didn't fight? She asked again to confirm. I just shook my head as an answer. Well, let's try the kiss and make up method, she said, voicing her idea. What's that? I'm asking her to elaborate. Leave it to your best friend Hina. She winked at me as she took a sip of her coffee. I suddenly became nervous of the idea that crossed her mind. After we had our coffee, she led me in front of a store named La Senza. She pointed her mouth to the said store and my eyes pop open. What well going to do here on a lingerie store? I asked with my voice croaked, but I already have the idea what she was thinking and I don't like it. We'll buy lingerie for you. As soon the words escaped from her mouth, I really wanted to run away. I felt my face was already heating up. But no buts. Let's go. She cut my words and drags me inside the store. Soon we entered the store. She picked up the lingerie she passed by and handed them to me. Is this really important? I asked her awkwardly. Her brows held up high when I popped the question. Yes, it is for our plan to work, she plainly answered. The plan I remember is kiss and make up. I reminded her. Yeah, she nodded nonchalantly. So why are we buying lingeries? I still don't get it. Did I say kiss and make up? I nod as an answer. Let me rephrase the last one, kiss and make love. She answered while giving me a devilish smile. Tenten. I called her name through my gritted teeth. I really wanted to pull the buns on her hair. She knew I was letting out my steam. Hina, you must do this. Since you are already married, this is just normal. She explains. But this is just too embarrassing to wear. I answered. So, you didn't wear the lingerie set that I gave to you on your wedding day? She asked me accusingly while her arms folded across her chest. Ah, I did wear them. I lied, not meeting her gaze. I didn't have time to wear them for Naruto was really excited on our wedding night. So this is not a big deal, unless. She hangs her words. You are lying to me. She said in threatening tone. I know she doesn't believe my words. I'm not lying. But, she cuts my words. You need to do this for your husband. Come on Hina, you need to be bold. My best friend said while doing a pose in front of the mirror. But you know I can't do that. I'm scolding her now. So let the dress do the talking. She answered that made my mouth open. If you don't want to this, let's just go home and forget about it. Well, I will not be surprised if one day, your husband will replace you with another woman. Oh no. She was getting pissed on me. I know what she meant by the threat she was saying. Naruto won't do that. I hardly deny it, but deep inside my heart I'm getting doubts now. What if? How sure are you, Hina? She asked me, masking coldness in her voice. When did I begin to doubt my husband's love? Or maybe it wasn't him, it's my love for him as I'm having doubt. Like now, I couldn't even wear something as daring these clothes are. Just a little sacrifice for his happiness. I was lost in my own thoughts that keep me tongue-tied. What? My best friend asked, breaking my chain of thoughts. Spacing out? She asked me out of mockery. I'm going to do it. I finally said as my cheeks burn. I've really decided to do it and I just need to wear them, right? I need to this for Naruto, for my husband. Good girl. My best friend was satisfied as she patted both my shoulders. Don't worry, this will work 99%. The words of encouragement flowed to her lips together with a smile. Where did the 1% go? I asked, a little perplexed. The 1% is within you. But, she hangs her words while looking seriously at me. That 1% could ruin the entire plan, if you will not execute this properly. She said, pointing my nose with her index finger. I was silent at her words. Best, this plan will work, right? I asked, breaking my silence, and I need her assurance. Yes, that's the only answer I need now. Like what has been decided, I tried the lingeries on the store. Tenten let me try a variety of lingeries, nightwears and underwear. At the end, I picked a midnight blue nightwear which has a very short length with match of a black brassiere and thong. I don't know to my best friend's taste, but I think this one suits me. The fabric of the nightwear was soft to the feel and the brassiere made my breast even fuller while the thong was a little uncomfortable to wear. I turn around in front of the mirror, checking myself inside the fitting room. My face was beet red as I looked the deep neckline of the nightwear. The length of the nightwear was so short, exposing my whole legs. When I finished the fitting, Tenten checked on me and screamed in delight. I'm hoping that Naruto will also feel the same way. My best friend drops me home at around 6 in the evening. I didn't know that buying lingeries will make me exhausted and time-consuming. I still have enough time to prepare mentally. I lay down my stuffs on our room, and went downstairs to prepare something sumptuous for our dinner. After that, I took a bath, scrubbing myself thoroughly. I am really nervous about doing the plan Tenten suggests. I really don't know if I can do it. I finished my bathe and wore my usual home clothes. I wore a loose white shirt with a lollipop design and black shorts which length is 1 foot away from my knees. I went to the living room and seated to the sofa while waiting for the arrival of my husband. I heard the unlocking of the door and saw my husband standing there looking tired. I checked at the clock, it was already 8 in the evening. Hi honey, welcome home. I greeted him happily as approached him to get his coat. Hi, he greeted me with a little smile on his lips, maybe due to exhaustion. I want to ask him for my kiss, but I bite my tongue for the words not to come out. He went directly to the living room and flopped himself to the sofa. Do you want something to eat? I asked and sat beside him. The scratches on his face are still visible. If I saw the cat that scratches his handsome face, I will kill and cook it to be fed in dogs. He loosens his ties, shutting his eyes. I'm not hungry. I've already eaten in the office before I got here. He said with his eyes still closed. Is that so? My voice weakens as I bit my lip. This is the first time we didn't have dinner together. Although he comes late from work, we sure share dinner at home together. After that a deafening silence followed. I will just take a shower, he said, breaking the silence. He stands up and headed to the bathroom. I was feeling down for he still acts cold towards me. I was left dumbfounded while seated at the sofa. I stare at the blank space not knowing what I should do. My feet drag me to our room and get the paper bag with lingeries. At the exact moment the door in our room opened, popping my husband from his bathe. He was half naked with a towel wrapped on his waist. I immediately hide the bag on my back. Are you done? I asked to distract his eyes. Yeah, he was looking at me suspiciously as he walks close to me. What I stuttered. Shoot. My grip on the bag tightens. Hinata. My husband called my name with gentleness in it. Yes, I answered. He shortens the distance between us as his face was only few inches away from me. I look in his ocean blue eyes and saw passion building on them. His lips were nearly approaching mine when I remember that I need to wear the lingeries and go on to the plan. Honey, could you wait for a while? I just need to go to the bathroom. I interrupt him as I put both of my hands to his chest to stop him from kissing me, and I excuse myself. He released a sigh and saw frustration on his face while moving away from me. He didn't say anything as he turns his back on me and walked towards the bed. It became my escape goat and headed to the bathroom. I opened the paper bag and wear the lingeries inside. I was wondering, as far I remember Tenten only bought 3 items for me. My eyes caught another 2 packs of underwear. But to my surprise, they are just not regular underwears, they're edible. I gasped at the thought some things like this exist. Really, Tenten? I shook my head in disbelief and put the edible underwears inside the paper bag. I looked myself at the mirror and doing a Y pose. I was doing a rehearsal and was really nervous with a small hint of excitement. Hinata, you can do this. I speak to myself for encouragement. I wear my lavender robe to hide the lingeries. I could not contain the loud beating of my heart to my chest. I released few exhale breaths before going out the bathroom. When I reach our room, my husband wasn't in bed, but instead I found him lying on the mat bed at the floor. He was wearing a white shirt with his orange boxer shorts. He was lying on his left side, turning his back on the bed. Maybe he was really angry with me now that he doesn't want to share a bed with me. I felt my knees become weak as I reached other side of the bed, making me collapse on the floor. Now would I really ruin everything? I said to myself. Tears started to roll down my cheeks. I folded my knees, wrapping my arms around them while hiding my face as I continued crying. Maybe my best friend was right, surely Naruto will find another woman to fulfill his needs now. As I thought about this, my cries grew louder. I don't care if he will find me like this, I just want him now. Hey, what's the matter? I heard his voice asked as I felt him sits beside me. I look at him with tears still rolling on my cheeks. He wipes away the tears with his finger, wearing a soft expression on his face. I sniffed to clear my nose, but I felt something is blocking my throat, making it hard to speak. You are acting cold since this morning. I managed to speak up the words in between my sobs. What did I do? I asked while he was debating if he will tell me or not. Please tell me. And tears to my eyes came pouring again. He released a sigh before he speaks. It's because of what happened last night. He began and saw confusion on me. Seriously, you don't remember? He asked me and I just shook my head. He seems convinced with my answer. What is the last thing you remember? Remember you putting me in the bed. I answered while sniffing. So you really can't remember when I tried to dress you up, but... He sighs before he continued. You cried and shout, don't rape me, you're not my husband. And then you scratched my face like a cat. He said, hanging the words. My lips awed, for I can't believe what I've done to my husband. I kind of felt guilty for blaming the cat for his scratches. I was silent for a moment. But honestly, I am angry because I felt you don't want me anymore. I look at him with guilt on my eyes. I wanted to make love to you last night, but I felt I was being rejected by you. He confessed while scratching his red cheeks. Oh honey, I'm so sorry. I apologize as tears start rolling again from my eyes. I didn't mean you to feel that way. So sorry. I hugged him as I put my chin on his shoulders while I continued crying. I'm sorry too. He patted my back to stop me from crying. When I look at him, he was giving me his goofy smile that I've missed. I love you, he said while wiping again my tear-stained cheeks as he started kissing my eyes, my forehead, and my cheeks. I love you too, honey. I said as I closed my eyes, feeling the warmth of his lips. He cupped my cheeks with both of his hands and started kissing me in the lips. It started as a peck, but as it took longer it got also deeper and deeper. We kissed, changing our angles, and when we stopped both of us catch our breaths. I opened my eyes as I meet his eyes that have love and passion with them. Something crossed my mind and a smile curved to my lips. "What's funny?" he asked as his lips traveled to my neck to my collarbone. I gasped at the sensation that his lips are bringing me. "I remember something. I have a surprise for you," I said in a sultry voice, breaking to his kiss. I coax him to sit in our bed as I stand in front of him. "What is it?" He looks somewhat surprised and excited. I didn't answer, but instead I gently remove my robe. His eyes widened in surprise while he scrutinized my body from top to bottom. I bit my lower lip because I'm too embarrassed now. "Who is it?" I stammered while blurting the words. "Isn't it bad?" I added. His lips awed and I could see a huge grin on his face. "Damn honey, you are so." He gently pulled me so I landed on his lap. I was seated side on his lap sideways as I bent my neck, looking on his face. "And you're so irresistible," he added, whispering the words. I felt my cheeks heated up because of his compliment. "I'm glad you like it," I said while smiling bashfully at him. "Yeah, I really love it so." He hangs his words when suddenly he stands up, carrying me in bridal style. I was caught off guard, so I ended holding his neck with both of my hands. "It will be a long night," he finally said as he gently lay me down on bed and showered me with his love. I was sitting comfortably in the sofa wearing my pajamas, while looking one by one on the channels across my plasma television. I really don't know what I want to watch, so I just keep on pressing the buttons of the remote looking for something. My fingers stop on a late-night news, when two images of a person flash on my TV screen caught my eye. The famous business tycoon Naruto Uzumaki will be married to Alice McBride. Said wedding. I cut off what the newscaster might say by turning off the TV and tossing the remote to the sofa. I just look at the blank space, thinking of nothing. This night, I really feel like crying until the sun rise and until I ran out of tears. I want to do my one last cry to the man I love the most, who is soon to be wed. As I think of it, I felt a rope being held on my neck that blocks the air to my throat. I'm going to die little by little until the day of his wedding. Really, I did wish I was dead rather than to experience this kind of pain. I have these mixed emotions that want to burst from me. I felt my throat was drying up, so I stand up and headed to the kitchen. I opened the fridge, getting 2 bottles of beer, and got back to the living room. I opened the first bottle of beer and bubbles starts rising on it. I drank it and the cold beer quenches the thirst in my throat. Its coldness smoothly flows to my throat, making me feel refreshed. I didn't notice I already emptied the 2 bottles in no time. Already gone? I was really amused that I finished the 2 bottles in no time. Suddenly a loud knock on my door echoed to my condo. I wasn't expecting someone right now, for I really wanted to be alone. I stand up and headed to the door. Maybe it was my best friend Tenten. She was texting me since this morning and I didn't reply on her messages. She keeps calling me and our other friends, but I keep on declining or not answering them on purpose. I don't want to have any contact to the other humans until this time. Looks like I don't have a choice right now. Series of loud knocks follow. She was really mad at me now, I thought. "Hey Tenny, you will wrecked my door," I yelled and opened the door. As soon as I saw the person standing on my doorstep, I want to close the door immediately. My lips awed a little upon meeting the eyes of my visitor. I felt my feet develop roots as we stand there just mere looking at each other. "What are you doing here, Naruto?" I asked casually at the blonde man standing at my doorstep. I'm trying to keep my cool, but the insides of me are shaking. I felt like a mental hermit because of 3 days not having a human contact. I was not really ready on this meeting after our argument on the other day. He looks tired and I could smell alcohol in him. I could say he was drunk because his clothes are disarrayed and his tie was loose on his neck. He didn't answer, but instead he moves to close the distance between us. Wah! I didn't finish my words, for the next thing I knew, I was crushed into a hug on the arms of this man. His arms tightly wraps on my body, with no intention of letting me go. Heat from his body made my heart starts to beat in a rhythm that only him could make. He put his cheeks onto my shoulder while I stood like a statue, not moving. "I'm sorry, Hinata." His voice sounds like he wants to break a cry. I was dumbfounded on his words. "What are you apologizing for?" I asked, confused. "Sorry. I'm sorry." He continued to apologize, not answering my question. Naruto. I whispered his name quietly. Sorry. He kept saying as I felt his weight on me as he loses his balance for he really sobers. Whoa, Naruto. I wrapped my arms around his body to support him, but my strength was not enough to hold us together. We both stumbled on the floor, ending him on top of me. Did he just lose consciousness? I peek on his face and he was already cold. I gently push him aside so I can get up. As I stand up, I immediately headed to the door and shut it. Now what? I tap my forehead while looking at the man who is lying on the floor. I approached at his lying body and think of how I can transfer him to my living room for a while. I can't carry you, so I grab his 2 hands, pulling him across the floor and drag him away from my doorstep to my living room. I didn't expect an unconscious body can be heavy as this. I securely lay him down on the carpeted area of my living room. I released a sigh as I sat beside him. I can't let him sleep on the floor at this time of the year, for I was afraid he might catch cold. I need some help at least to carry him to my bed. Obviously, I couldn't carry him alone. Then a person crossed my mind that could help me right now, I mean right in this moment. I got my phone and dialed the number of that person. It gave a few rings before I heard the person answered my call. What? The voice on the other line really sounds upset at me. Are you done in disconnecting yourself to the human world? He asked in sarcastically. Neji. I called my cousin's name, not minding the sarcasm on his voice. I need your help right now. I say my intention all at once. I'm sorry, I know I made you all worried, but please help me now. I apologize and pleaded at the same time to him. What can I do? He asked inquiringly and his voice softens little. Please visit me here in my pod. I answered. I need your help to carry something. I added. Okay, I'll be there. And he hangs up. Suddenly, Naruto's phone started ringing. I searched to his pockets on his pants until I have his phone. When I was about to answer, the caller hung up, and what is worst, his cell phone's battery went dead. I missed the chance to call unto someone to pick him up here, but the other side of me tells me it's an opportunity to keep him even once. A troubled smile crossed on my lips, as I imagine what will my cousin says if he saw Naruto in here. But I'm also wondering why the hell go here? If he has a problem, surely he had Sasuke to help him. Maybe something really did happen and he can't confide it to anyone, but why did he go to me? My thoughts were interrupted by the knock on my door. I headed to the door and slightly opened it, popping Neji. Come in. I coaxed him to come inside my condo. He stepped inside as I gently closed the door behind me. His eye immediately caught the man lying on the floor and was furious as he faces me. Did you really lose your mind now? Wow, nice choice of words. What is this idiot doing here in your pod? He asked, masking irritation on his voice while he points his finger to Naruto. No, I didn't really lose it yet. I shake my head, answering his first question. He came here drunk and he loses consciousness. Now as you see, he was lying on the floor. I answered calmly. Really? He folded his arms across his chest while looking intently at me. I had a feeling that you wanted to keep him. Shoot, he got me there. No, you're wrong. I denied, immediately giving him a steady gaze. He released a smirk upon hearing my words. You're no good at lying. He was pressing me to tell the truth. I'm not. It's just. I stop on my words. Just what? He was asking me to continue my words. I think he has a problem, and he can't confide to anyone, that's why. I barely whispered as I look on the floor. That's why you thought he was here, because he wants to confide something to you? He continued my words. Never learning your lesson. Isn't 7 years enough? He added while approaching Naruto. I bite my tongue to speak no more. He kneeled beside him and caught Naruto's left arm, wrapping it to his shoulder. He gently pulls Naruto's body so he can be in a sit-up position. I was silent while looking at them. I need some help here. He yelled at me and I came back to my senses. I approached both of them and kneeled beside Naruto's sit-up body. I caught the other arm of Naruto and wrapped it to my shoulder. On the count of 3, let's lift him to stand. Okay? I nodded. 1, 2, 3. We both stand up after the count of 3 and lift Naruto to stand up. I felt a little out balance, but thank God we didn't stumble. I wrap my other arm on his body to add some support. Neji and I drag his unconscious body heading to my room. When we reached my room, we lay him down on my bed. I can call Sasuke to pick him if you wanted. I shook my head at his words. I wanted to keep him even for just this night. I answered, pleading him to understand my feelings. Just for this night, only one night. I know he has a fiancée waiting for him, but I became greedy all of a sudden. Are you sure about this? He asks in concern and I nod. Better know your position, Hinata. You can't have him, you know that. He spoke the reality that hurts. I know, I answered bitterly. He released a sigh as a sign of resignation to our conversation. I'll leave both of you now. Call me if there is problem. He said, bidding his goodbye. Thanks, Neji. I was really grateful at him. He was a good cousin, almost acting to me and Hanabi as a good brother. He nods as an answer and walks out of my room. Now, what will I do to you? I was looking at the man lying on my bed. I need him to freshen up a bit so he can sleep comfortably. I started by removing his shoes and then I remove his tie. The smell of alcohol crinkled on my nose. I wonder how much liquor he took. I saw yellow stains on his white sleeves. He can't go tomorrow in the office with his attire like this. I need to remove his sleeves and laundry it. I needed also to give him a sponge bath. But I don't know if I can undress him. This is the first time I will undress a man. Now I think of it, maybe I should seek help of Neji before I sent him home. What if he wakes up? I don't want him to think I'm a shameless woman who just undresses a man. After debating with myself, I came to the decision to undress him. I sat beside him and expelled few breaths because of nervousness. Hinata, you can do this, okay? You'll just have to undress him. I convince myself, but my hands are shaking while I removed the first button of his dress. More buttons to go. I removed the second, third, fourth buttons, his chiseled chest exposed. I bit my lip a little because of what I'm seeing. I continued to the fifth buttons to the last and his six-pack abs exposed to my eyes. I cover my eyes with both of my hands as I felt my face was really burning now and can emit fire on anything. Hinata, when did you become a pervert? I'm scolding myself. His half-body was exposed on my eyes. He has a beautiful body physique that can really attract the girl's eyes. I try to contain the drum beating of my heart, but it was useless. Now I just need to remove his sleeves. Honestly, how much do I need to bear? I reach for his right arm and slip the sleeve away from his arm. I roll his body so he was facing the right side and I easily slip the left sleeve away from his arm. But when I roll him back to his original position, so clumsy of me, I lose my balance and my face ended on his chest. If anyone could see me, for sure my face was really beet red. I could smell his perfume, which is quite close to a citrus scent which mixes with the scent of the alcohol. I could hear the steady beating of his heart as heat was radiating from his body, making my heart warm and calm. I savor this moment, for it can't happen again. I will lose my sanity this night and return to normal tomorrow. Hinata. I froze when suddenly I heard my name that made my heart took a rhythm of pit-pat. Oh God, did he wake up? I'm doomed. What excuse will I make? I didn't answer, but instead I took a peep on his face. I released a sigh, for I was relieved that he was still asleep. I move away from him as I sit up and look at him. He was calling my name on his sleep. I wonder what he was dreaming about me. That thought alone made my chest swell with happiness that the beating of my heart hurts. I stand up and walk out from my room. I headed to the kitchen and get a basin full of lukewarm water. I returned to my room and started giving Naruto a sponge bath. Really, why is bathing someone could be difficult like this? Like I experienced earlier, I was really nervous while wiping his body. He shivered after I gave him a bathe. Upon seeing this, I immediately took the covers and slip him so he can warm up. I watched him snug under the covers as an innocent smile cross on his lips. What are you dreaming? I ask while I'm smiling. I sat beside him and watched him sleep soundly. I don't know why I craved to touch him. I playfully combed his blonde hair with my fingers. I love the soft touch of his hair and its color that resembles to the sun. I touched his whiskered cheeks and traced the outline of his jaw with the back of my hand. I was memorizing all the angles of his face, a memory I would treasure forever. My index finger touches his slightly open lips as the memory flooded when I'm being kissed by him. I snap my hand from him, leaving the warmth of his lips. I look at the clock hanging on my room and the hands tell me it's already 12:51 in the morning. Tomorrow morning, he will leave you. I reminded myself. I stand up and distance away from him. The happiness I'm feeling earlier was replaced by sadness that's creeping in my heart. My eyes are burning, for tears wells up on my eyes. Sorry Naruto, for leaving you. Tears roll down from my cheeks as I apologized to him. I thought I must have done this the first time we meet again after 7 years. My tears flooded on my cheeks, dripping my clothes. I got out from my room and ran towards the living room. I collapsed into the sofa as I released my cries and sobs. Naruto. I wake up from the sunrays hitting on my face. I slowly open my eyes for the damn light really hurts. I surveyed my surroundings and puzzled where the hell I am. This is not definitely my room, but what I'm doing in a girl's room. Realization came upon me as I suddenly sit up, making the covers slip from my body, exposing my upper body. Sharp pain automatically hit my head, making me feel dizzy. Curse the alcohol I've drank last night, for I really felt I was bitten by a snake now. I shivered a little because of cold, so I slipped myself again on the covers. My eyes wandered around the room. The ceiling has a painting of blue sky and the walls are in combination of purple and blue. The white wardrobes have a painting of a girl with long hair that wears a lavender kimono. All is organized and tidy, unlike my room. I can say that the room is really personalized. So this is her room. I muttered to myself while my eyes continued to wander on the room. I look at the bedside table and saw a photo of her holding white roses. I was mesmerized with her beauty on the photo. My eyes caught of my white sleeves hang nicely at a laundry stand. Did Hinata undress me last night? Thinking about it, I felt my face burning up because of embarrassment. I really sober last night and then she took care of me. I released a sigh as I remember what happened. The video that Tenten gave to me made me mad last night. It was a video of Hinata for me as she records herself when she was sick at the hospital. She was confessing and apologizing at the same time why she disappeared all of a sudden. She really looks in pain while she records herself. She loses some weight, her skin is so pale and her eyes developed some black circles under it. She was wearing a bonnet, for maybe she loses some of her beautiful raven hair because of some chemotherapy and drugs. Upon seeing her like that, my world crumbles in an instant. On how I am a big jerk thinking that she had replaced me with someone better to have her. Her last words made my heart stop in an instant and tears fall from my eyes. I will be always in love with you, no matter what. If I die now and we have the chance to meet again in the other life, I will always choose to fall in love with you, Naruto. It was the answer I was waiting for the last 7 years of my life. 7 years of wasted not being with her. 7 years that my heart still longed for the same girl I met and fell in love with when I was 16 years old. Same girl who is still in my heart yearn after 7 years. Hinata didn't know that the video still exists, for she knows Tenten already disposed the tape, but beyond her knowledge, her best friend kept it. Honestly, I wanted to give this tape a long time ago, but I was afraid of betraying Hinata. I know she can't forgive me, but as her best friend I can't let her happiness to pass by, for I know she can't find another one. Surely when she learns about this, she will kill me. It's all up to you now, Naruto. I remembered Tenten said to me as she left me with the tape of the video. She was right, it's up to me now. I won't let Hinata slip away this time like what happened 7 years ago. I got up from the bed and folded the covers. I headed to the bathroom so I can wash my face. To my surprise, there is a towel and a set for tooth care together with a note. You can use this. I smiled at her thoughtful gestures. Her attitude didn't even change. I washed my face and brushed my teeth, for my breath really stinks. I also changed into my white sleeves and put my tie on my neck, making it loose. I was kind of nervous, or more kind of cautious, because of my actions last night. I released few exhale breaths and headed for the door. I slowly opened the door and shut it as I got outside. My eyes roam around her pod and I saw her at the kitchen preparing something. But why I saw myself with her at the kitchen counter hugging her from behind as she prepared breakfast. There are 2 kids, 1 boy and a girl, seated at the dining table. The kids are laughing while we happily chat. A smile cross on my lips on what I'm seeing. Hinata. Naruto? I called his name, breaking him from his thoughts. He was smiling widely at me and I wonder what he was thinking. Ah. He hides his face on his palm, feeling a little embarrassed as I give him a puzzled look. Let's eat. Your food is getting cold. I inform him. Yeah, he answered, and as he approached the dining table, he took the seat across the table so we are facing each other. Bacon, sunny-side egg, hot dogs and sliced bread were on his plate, while I on the other hand have cereals and sliced fruits on my plate. We eat in silence, not meeting each other gaze. There is one time, I caught him stole a glance at me, then looks on the other direction. We finished eating in a deafening silence. Thank you for the meal and for taking good care of me last night, he said gratefully, breaking the silence as he lightly scratched the back of his head. You're welcome, I just answered flatly. I want to apologize what happened last night. I'm sorry. He meets my eyes as I give him shallow expression. It's okay. You don't have to worry on anything. My reaction and words don't bear any emotions that make him dumbfounded. Silence reigned once more on us. If you don't want anything, you can go now, I said coldly. I want him to leave me now, for if he will stay longer I might not let him go and break my own resolution. I don't want to meet his gaze, for I don't want him to see the bags that developed under my eyes because of crying. I stand up and headed to the direction of the kitchen sink. I know I'm being a nuisance to you right now, but I'm here to talk to you. He speaks calmly, not minding my attitude. There's nothing to talk about, I answered him as I put the utensils we've used on the sink. There is. He hardly answers, maintaining a calm tone. This must have happened last 7 years ago. It doesn't matter anymore. I cut his words. I wildly shook my head while trying myself to hold on together. I kind of felt that I might break into pieces like a glass and scatter myself to the floor. I felt my chest tighten, feeling difficult to breathe the air that surrounds us. How could you say it doesn't matter? He looks at me like he was in pain. Did you have any idea how I live my life? I saw him balled his hand into a fist because of frustration. You going to marry Alice one of these days, so stop digging with the past, Naruto. I want to break a cry, but I restrained the tears that formed to my eyes. A heavy dragging silence followed. If you only told me the truth that time. I cut his words. Tell you the truth? Like it was easy? I'm hearing myself in self-ridiculed tone right now. I expelled an exhale breath before I continued to speak, for the words are choking my throat. Hey Naruto, I have a brain tumor. I'm dying anytime and I'll be leaving you soon. My words are cut when he suddenly punched the dining table loudly with his right hand. I saw a slight blood form on his knuckles, but he just ignored it. He stands up as he faces me. Yes, because that's what I wanted. I am dying to know the truth, why you left 7 years ago, Hinata. I meet his angry eyes and an expression I couldn't read. I felt fear in me as I leaned my back at the kitchen counter to support my shaking body. You made me miserable for the last 7 years, Hinata, every day until this day. His words gave me heartache and pierced right through my soul. He rolled his eyes upward, not meeting my gaze. But I already have my resolution. I can't be with him. I only want happiness for him, a thing I thought he can't have with me. Enough of this, I weakly whispered, like it was not audible to my ears and to him. What? He wants to repeat myself. I said enough. I shouted while waving my hands in front of him to drop the subject. Get out. I pointed the door while I keep my hand from shaking. I avoided any eye contact at him. I don't want to drown on those ocean blue eyes and stay on those. A heavy dragging silence followed. I wish you didn't come back. His words were enough to break me, making the tears that I'm restraining to fall in an instant. Get out. I shouted with all my might, with the last strength that holds my body. I turned my back at him, not wanting to see him walk out my door. It's like letting him walk out of my life. Tears won't stop from streaming on my cheeks. I heard the door screeched as he opens it and loudly shuts it closed. I collapsed onto the floor as the strength of my body leaves me. I folded my knees and wrapped my arms around them. I hid my face on my knees, letting my cries and sobs out. My cries grew larger as I let my emotions flow. I felt something blocking my throat, that making it hard to breathe. I felt someone was standing in front of me, and I peeped behind my knees. My lips awed in surprise upon seeing him looking down at me. I really thought he had already left. I was so embarrassed, for he had caught me in my desperate moment. If embarrassment could kill, I am dead already. I really want to disappear. He sits in front of me while looking intently at me and wears a soft expression. His hand reaches for my cheeks and wipes the tears that escape from my eyes. Naruto. I called his name between my sobs. What happened to us? I asked while tears continued to roll on my cheeks. Instead of answering my question, he drew closer at me and gave me a soft kiss on the lips. I didn't stop him, instead I kiss him back. Repeated kisses happen and our kiss deepens as I felt I'm running out of breath. The drum beating of my heart to my chest continues as we share kisses. We were both panting when we ended our kiss. Only our eyes talk and our hearts were synchronized in every beat. I jolted when suddenly he lifted me up, carrying me bridal style, heading to my room. He kicks the door to shut itself while carrying me. He lay me down gently on my bed, not leaving his eyes on me. Naruto, My words were cut again by his kisses that took my breath away. I want to love you more, Hinata. He confessed between his kisses. I was too dumbfounded to hear him say those words. I felt I was being drowned in his sweet kiss as he continued to drop kisses on my forehead, tip of my nose, and my hair. Will you let me? His eyes wear the sincerest expression I've seen in my whole life. My heart swells in happiness upon hearing his words. Tears of happiness roll unto my cheeks and kiss my eyes. Love me more, Naruto. I answered, whispering the words to him. I felt my cheeks warm up as I said the words. He gave me crooked smile that I love a long time ago. I love you so much, Hinata. I saw passion and love reflects on his eyes. This time I won't be a coward like I did 7 years ago. I will tell him what I really feel, not backing down. I love you too, Naruto. I hug his body close to mine, feeling the warmth enveloping me. Love me. I cup his face with both of my hands and kissed his lips. He kisses me back and I felt I am melting inside with him so close to me. Like a candle that burns and lights up a beauty, he conquered all that I have as we share our love for each other. I woke up with the ringing sound of my phone. I grunt while reaching for the source of the sound without opening my eyes. I really don't want to open my eyes. I felt a little tired and fuzzy under the covers. The soft fabric of the bed really felt nice on my skin. So much tenderness I feel inside, and I don't want the sweetness I'm feeling to go off a bay. I felt someone grabbed my hand and hugged me tightly behind. Don't answer that, he said with his voice that kind of hoarse because of sleep. I slowly opened my eyes facing his side, looking up, meeting a beautiful man's face. His eyes are closed as his lips were touching the top of my head. My face automatically heat up as I remember what had happened earlier. I continued to stare at his face and touch his cheeks, caressing it softly. He slowly opened his eyes and kisses my hand that touches his cheeks. I smiled by his sweet gesture and he smiled in return. Hinata, he softly called my name. Marry me. Those words were very shocking that made my eyes pop-eyed open, waking all my senses. I look at his face that wears a serious expression, which means what he meant was not a joke. "Aw?" This is the only word I utter because of shock. What kind of an answer is that? He asked, quite a little irritated. But Naruto, you're supposedly to be married to Alice, right? I reminded him, that made my chest hurts. He released a sigh before answering. The wedding is off because both of us really don't want to marry each other. She told me that she loves someone else and she wants to be with him. She plans on running away on the day of our wedding. She was really just pushed by her parents to be married to me. Marriage mixed with business as usual. He narrated that made me speechless. And another reason is I don't love her. I'm still in love with the girl I have met when I was 16 years old. He added as he winks at me. I really can't believe what I'm hearing from him. I was relieved that tears flowed again to my eyes. Hey, why are you crying? He asked as he wipes the tears that escape from my eyes with his index finger. I was just so relieved. I answered between my cries. And I'm so overjoyed. Is that so? He kisses my forehead. I'm so happy too. I've been dreaming for this for 7 years, that one day I'll be able to be with you again. So, I will not let the moment slip away. I already wasted 7 years not being with you. I don't want to waste another days, weeks, months or years without you on my side. So Hinata Hyuga, will you be Mrs. Naruto Uzumaki? He said the words in the most sincere way, with love and a promise of forever with every word. I realized since yesterday, I was a cry baby. But the tears that Naruto was giving me right now were happy tears. He continued to wipe the tears falling from my cheeks. I wiped my tears and gave him the sweetest smile L could give. Yes, I simply answered, and a goofy smile crosses on his face. I really love you, Hinata, and please stay on my side forever. He kisses my lips, taking my breath away when he said the words. I love you too, Naruto, and I promise I will stay with you forever. That's all for now. If you enjoy, then please like, share and do comments.